course, most of those people who bought new homes had to take out mortgages to get them. And that was one of the reasons why household debt, which also includes auto and student loans, rose in the first quarter of the year. But unlike the period of time leading up to the financial crisis, increased borrowing may not be such a bad thing this time around. Steve Liesman explains.
Total household debt climbing a slim 1.1% in the first quarter to $12.25 trillion. It's the seventh straight quarterly rise and the biggest increase in mortgage debt since the Great Recession. That's according to the report from the New York Federal Reserve Bank. There were also increases in auto and student loans, but declines in credit card and home equity debts. So is consumer debt a problem? Are we in the middle of a consumer debt bubble? Hardly. Total debt remains more than $400 billion below the peak of 2008. That means per capita debt continues to decline since the population is bigger now, and credit quality continues to improve. New foreclosures and bankruptcies both fell. Newly delinquent loans rose by the least since 2005, up just $138 billion. In the teeth of the recession, delinquent debt surged by more than $400 billion a quarter. Delinquencies are down because banks continue to lend to those Americans with just the best credit. Before the recession, people with the best credit scores got 24% of all mortgages and the worst got 13%, in part because of subprime lending. Now, the best credits get nearly 60% of all new mortgages. The second tier has fallen in half, and there's virtually no mortgage money for Americans with the lowest credit scores. It raises questions about whether banks are too sheepish in their lending or regulations are too tough. Some problem areas remain in consumer debt. Total auto and student loan debts remain above $1 trillion. The percent of loans that are 90 days plus delinquent rose slightly for autos, but fell for mortgages, credit cards, and even for student loans. Overall, it's not a very worrisome picture of consumer and debt. Certainly not one that suggests we're in the later innings of a credit or economic cycle. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Steve Liesman.